What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, I'm bringing to you all about how to write expressions and equations. And so to translate statements, so you might be given some words into expressions and equations. The first thing is we need to identify keywords that indicate the operation. And then we need to write the numbers and variables in the correct order. So here, if we're given this statement, the sum of 5 and 8. So we recognize the sum is a keyword here. So that's telling us for addition. So we're just going to write this as 5 plus 8. So if we see the word the difference of n and 3. So the difference, it would be our keyword there. That's telling us that we have subtraction. So we're just going to write that as n minus 3. So the order of these matters and how we write these. So for the product of 4 and b minus 1, we understand that the product is a keyword here. That means we're going to multiply. So what we're going to do for these types, we have b minus 1. We're going to put that in parentheses. So we're going to keep that all together. And then we're going to multiply it by 4 on the outside. So this looks like the examples that we have for the distributive property way back a couple videos ago. And if we have the quotient of 4 and b minus 1, quotient is division. So we can use 4 divided by, so our division symbol there, and then we'll put b minus 1 in parentheses. So that's one way we can write it. We can also write it as the quotient of 4 and b minus 1. 4 would be our numerator, and b minus 1 would be our denominator. So we can write this as a fraction, which is what you will more commonly see. So to translate statements into expressions and equations, identify those keywords that indicate the operation, and then write the numbers down in their correct order. So to translate these statements, so number 1 is more than, and then 2 is less than. What we do is we switch the order when we write them. So if you see these keywords only is where we will switch the order and how we write them. So if we say 8 more than x, what we'll do is we flip this order. So if we see more than, we're flipping that order. So we write x first. More than is addition. And then we write 8 at the end. So we're just flipping the order here. So 6 less than p is our keyword here. So we're going to flip this order. So p comes first. Less than is subtraction. And then we write 6. We're not solving anything, we're just writing these expressions and equations. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the phrase $5 less than Jennifer earned as an algebraic expression. So let the variable d is going to represent the dollars. So $5 less than is our key phrase here. Then Jennifer earned. So what we got to do is we got to flip these. So $5 is at the end. What Jennifer earned is in dollars is D. So we got D less than is minus 5. Just writing it down as an expression. So again, to translate statements into expressions and equations is equal to, all these are keywords for the equal sign. So if we have 5 more than a number is 6. So what we have here is we have a couple keywords here. We have more than. So we have 5, and then that number is going to switch places. So for that number, I just labeled that as n for the variable. The word is going to be our equal sign. And so the way we write this, 5 more than a number. So we have n plus 5, because more than is addition. Is going to be our equal sign, and then 6 right after that. So We don't have to solve that right now. We're just writing the expressions in equations. So we have the sum of r and 45 is 79. So we have the sum, so that's giving us addition, of r and 45. So we're going to write it in that order, r plus 45. Here's our keyword is as our equal sign, is equal to 79. So the product of 7 and b is 63. So the product is saying we're going to multiply. So the order for multiplication, we're going to keep it in this order, but if you wrote it b times 7, that's fine, but get used to writing it as 7b. So get used to writing it without the operation sign for the coefficient and the variable. Is our equal sign, and then 63 is after our equal sign. So now we have the quotient of 7 and x is equal to 13. So quotients are keyword here for division. And so the way we're going to set this up, as 7 is our numerator, x is going to be our denominator, and then is equal to gives us our equal sign, 13. So now if we're going to be writing two-step equations, so this gets a little trickier, but when we follow the keywords, it will all be good here. And so we have 6 less than twice a number is 4. And so let's start with the keywords first. So we have this keyword less than. So we know that 6 and whatever twice a number is switching, and we have subtraction as our sign. So we're going to write that, so subtract 6, and then we have twice a number. So we don't know what the number is, so we're going to label that as x. So twice a number means we're going to multiply that by 2. So that's why we have 2x minus 6 is our equal sign. And then we just bring our 4 to the right of our equal sign. So even though this seems like it's a lot, identify those keywords, and the keywords will help you in how to write it. So let's check out this one. We have 2 less than the quotient of 15 and a number. So we have our keywords here. We have less than, so we know that 2 and whatever the quotient of 15 and a number is. So let's kind of group that together so we can see that a little better. Is going to be switched. So we know that less than is subtraction. So we're subtracting 2. And then we have the quotient of 15 and a number. So 15 is going to be our numerator. And then that number, we label that as n or x or a, however you want, whatever variable you want to use, you're going to put that into the denominator. So now we have 5 times a number decreased by 4. So let's kind of break this down. So 5 times a number means we're going to be multiplying. So 9 times, I'd put it down as x. You can put it down as y, z, whatever variable you want to use. So I'm going to write down 5 times a number decreased by, so we know that if we're decreasing something, that's going to be subtraction. We're decreasing by 4. So we're just going to write that as 9x is equal to 9x minus 4. So what about twice the difference of y and 3? So we have some things. So we have twice, it means we're going to be multiplying by 2. We also have the difference of y and 3. So let's focus on that first. So the difference of y and 3 would just be y minus 3. And we need to take twice this whole thing. So twice the difference of all of that. So that's why we're going to put 2 on the outside of y minus 3. So that's why we're going to use our parentheses for y minus 3. So we're going to do y minus 3 first when we do order of operations. And then whatever that answer is, we're going to multiply that whole thing by 2. So now we have 5 less than twice a number is 7. So we have less than means that we're going to switch 5 and twice a number. So less than is subtraction again. So that's what we have, minus 5. Twice a number here, I put that as 2y. You can put it as 2x or 2a. I chose y for this one. We also have a keyword is, which means that's our equal sign. And then 7 gives us 7 there. So 5 less than twice a number is 7. We write that as 2y minus 5. It's going to be equal to 7. So what about the product of 7 and the sum of b and 2? So we have the product of, means we have multiplication there, and then the sum of b and 2. So we know that we need to add those two together. So we have b plus 2. Let's go ahead and put that in parentheses, because we're going to multiply all of that. So the product of 7 and whatever that is. So that means we're going to multiply 7 by this whole thing, b plus 2. So it kind of looks like the examples that we gave again for the distributive property. So we're just going to keep giving some more examples. You can obviously pause this video, try them on your own, and then check. Or you can keep watching this video for more examples and step-by-steps on how to do this here. So we have 5 less than twice a number. So we know that these are going to be switching. So we're going to subtract, the less than is subtraction here. So we're going to take away 5 and then twice a number. Label that as 2c because I was tired of x and y as my variables here. So, but once again, we have these examples here, but feel free to ask questions. You'll be also asked if you're given an expression or equation to try to write it out in your own words here. So this is your practice time. Hit up on the classwork. Once again, if you have any questions, leave a comment in Google Classroom for me. I'd be more than happy to answer those for you.